Welcome to Rise with Rose, your PMDD relationship coach. So, today we are going to talk about PMDD and intrusive thoughts. So, intrusive thoughts are one of those things that happens during PMDD, and they're defined as thoughts that get stuck into your mind. So, during those 2 weeks or 10 days that you're in PMDD, you start to have trauma thoughts. So if you've had anything in your past, like traumatic events from childhood or from past relationships, they tend to show up during your worst days. And so today happens to be a holiday. It's Mother's Day. And earlier in my journey with PMDD, this really used to be a hard time for me, specifically holidays, because I would normally have intrusive thoughts every single month about my childhood trauma, but holidays in particular made them so much worse. So I don't know if you all can relate, but during my childhood, I was adopted, and then during foster care, and I really have a rocky relationship with my biological parents at this time. So every single month, when I would have these intrusive thoughts, it would be so negative. I would be thinking that they didn't love me, that they didn't want me. Feelings of abandonment would come up. And so when you have these intrusive thoughts, thoughts create emotions, and emotions affect your behavior. So what would happen is I would go from feeling really, really good, and then I start to have these intrusive thoughts, and the way that they are is they get stuck in your head. It's almost like a movie that keeps replaying itself over and over again. And so I would have that. And so I call it re-traumatization, which is meaning I'm experiencing those traumatic events all over again. And this is especially hard during the holidays, like Mother's Day, when you don't have a good relationship with your mother and these holidays come up. It's like, how do I deal with this? So specifically in my intimate relationships, I noticed that I was way more emotional, and I was way more just sensitive about the holidays in itself. And so yesterday, I was thinking like, oh my goodness, like we have a holiday coming up, here we go again. And I had these thoughts last night, because I'm away from my family, and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting, this wonderful treatment on Mother's Day, and all of these things. And I want to let you know that when you're in relationships and you're having these intrusive thoughts, you have to communicate that to your partner, because you can really come off as you having an issue specifically with your partner, which is something that used to happen with me. As I used to confront my partner about something, because I was having these intrusive thoughts, it was affecting every area of my life, including my relationships. I would go to them, and I would be like, hey, and I would pick out something that they were doing, and I would focus in on that, when the real problem was that I was really being re-traumatized by these thoughts over and over again. And so they get stuck in your head, and you have to be able to communicate that to your partner, because they'll begin to think that it's like really something wrong with them. Because I know for me, during PMDD, I can be very convincing because everything seems so real in the moment. When you come out of PMDD and you're looking back at it, it's like, man, that really, maybe it wasn't that serious. But when you're actually in it, you feel every single thing, and you make sure that your partner feels every single thing. And if they don't take it as serious as you do, then that's just another reason for you to get, offended, and for you to get defensive, and you all to start arguing. So I would say let them know upfront what thoughts that you really have, because what you need when you have those intrusive thoughts and they're really stuck in your head is someone to bring truth to what it is that you're really thinking. So a lot of the intrusive thoughts, the negative thinking, they're not true. It's negative thoughts that you have about yourself based off of, things that happened to you in the past, but it doesn't mean that those negative thoughts are true. You may feel a certain way about yourself, about yourself physically, about yourself mentally, about your self-worth specifically. I've seen this a lot with my clients, where when they have those intrusive thoughts, they start to feel like they're not good enough. And I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but you start to feel like because of how you've been damaged in the past and because of how you feel damaged in the present with having PMDD, it starts to make you feel like you're not worthy of certain things. So, one of the things that I do with my clients, I'm going to share with you today, is creating a routine that shows you who you are every single day. So, sometimes when I'm not in PMDD, most times when I'm not in PMDD, I don't have to have these constant reminders. But what I do is I create a routine for myself right now that serves me when I'm in PMDD and when I'm not in PMDD. So it serves me for the entire month. So I make sure that I create the habit of doing these things when I'm not in it, so that when I go into PMDD, it's sort of routine that I'm doing these things to make sure that I'm validating my own self-worth. So we should not be going to our partner and demanding that they fill these gaps and holes that we have within ourselves. It can become a lot of pressure. I know personally, if my partner came to me and was expecting me to fix them, when you're expecting someone to fix you, they can feel that pressure, and they can also feel like nothing that they do is good enough. So I don't know if your partner has ever told you, I just feel like nothing that I do is good enough for you. And it's kind of like you're squeezing that tube of toothpaste and you're trying to get more out of them and more out of them and more out of them, when in reality you really need to do the work yourself. Because if you don't figure out how to validate your own self and your own self-worth, nothing that your partner will ever do for you will be enough. I'm going to repeat that. If you do not figure out where the gaps are in your self-worth and what you believe that you are worthy of, what you believe that you deserve yourself, if you don't do the work to become solid in that, then nothing that your partner will be able to do will be good enough. And it's almost like they can do their best. And because it doesn't fill you up, because it's not enough, you can begin to seem demanding of them. Like, I need more attention. I need more compliments. I need more things to counter these intrusive thoughts that I'm having. Because what you want is just a balance. It's like you're receiving so many negative thoughts again and again, day after day. And you feel like if you start to receive positive comments and thoughts and well wishes and things about how amazing you are from your partner, that it's going to counter those intrusive thoughts that you're dealing with PMDD. And I want to tell you that when you have inner work to do, when you really need to work on believing in yourself, because the root of it is that something happened in your past that proved to you or showed you that you're not worthy of certain things. It's like a wound. Until you heal that wound, then nothing that your partner will do is going to be good enough, even if they wanted to heal you, which a lot of times partners who have PMDD, partners of women with PMDD, really want to be able to heal you. They don't like to see you in pain, but they also may be fixers. I know personally my partner is like that, where he likes to be able to fix things for me to make them better. And one of the hardest things to do with someone who has PMDD is to recognize that some things you can't fix. So because there's no cure for PMDD, there's no medicine. It's not like when you have a headache or you have a cold or you have the flu and you can just tell your partner, hey, I need you to go to the store and get me this medicine and bring it back for me. You take the medicine and then you rest a little bit and you feel better, and your partner feels good that they were able to give you something to make you feel better. So they were able to contribute to your healing, which in turns make them feel like they're a good partner, like they're doing something for you. But with PMDD, when you're having these intrusive thoughts, and it doesn't turn off and it doesn't go away, there's no medicine for that. And if you really think about it, that is the most hopeless, helpless feeling that your partner probably has. So what I want you to begin to realize is look at this from the perspective of your partner, not just for you as the woman with PMDD who's suffering, but also think about how that makes your partner feel to see you physically and mentally in pain and not being able to do anything about it, and to just have to sit on the sideline. This can really mess with their self-worth because they can begin to think that they're useless to your pain, like there's nothing that they can do. And then if you're reacting to them in such a confrontational way with the rage that is attributed to PMDD, it's like putting the nail in the coffin. Like you're consistently going in on them about not doing things for you, and they already feel like they're not doing things for you. You understand that? Do you understand that sometimes we subconsciously take it out on our partners because they're the closest to us? So when we have these intrusive thoughts and they're coming to be there for us, or they may have very good intentions for being around us, and we kind of just want to be left alone sometimes. Because when you have these negative thoughts going through your mind again and again and again, it's almost like someone being positive and someone being very uplifting and someone being, let's get over this, and let's, it's kind of like, as the woman with PMDD, that there's nothing that you can do to turn it off. So when someone's constantly suggesting that you do other things, it's kind of like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing that I can take. You feel trapped and you don't want to be there, but someone bringing it to your attention that you're there, it's almost like daunting. You're like, I know that I'm being negative. And a lot of times for us women with PMDD, our personality when we are in PMDD is so different from who we really are. I know specifically for me, I'm a very upbeat, very lively, very positive person when I'm not in PMDD. And so in order for me to maintain that persona, when I'm in PMDD, it takes a lot out of me. So it's not impossible, and it doesn't have to be fake. So that's one thing that I want to tell you. When you see people that are positive all month long and they have PMDD, it's not that they're faking it, right? So I know in the beginning, I used to think to myself, I guess I just have to pretend like I'm not in PMDD. And that's the answer. I'm going to pretend like I'm not having these symptoms. I'm going to pretend like I'm not having these intrusive thoughts. But it's almost like the more that you resist it, the more it persists. So that's actually a thing. And as I began to study this, I learned it more and more and more, that what you resist will persist. And what that means is the more energy that you take to resist the intrusive thoughts, resist those negative thoughts, resist those that re-traumatization, resist those thoughts from childhood trauma, from past relationships, that takes a lot out of you. And so if your emotions about those particular situations are trying to teach you something and you're constantly ignoring it, it tends to get worse and show up in different areas of your life to kind of make you pay attention to it, right? So what I want to talk to you about is a routine that I have my clients do that reminds them of their self-worth every single day. So when they get in PMDD and they feel these intrusive thoughts and they feel these thoughts about childhood trauma, relationship trauma, divorce, your parenting with your children, all of the things, this is going to be something that's going to fill your cup. So the first thing you need to do when you get up in the morning, and again, this is customized, but this is just a routine that I know works for me, and I use it as a kind of a template for my clients. I say, okay, let's try this routine. And then what I want you to do is I want you to do it for a week. And I always say a full 7 days, because I know a lot of times you may do something for a couple of days. I've done this. I was the queen. I was the queen of doing this, of starting something, doing it for a couple of days, and then saying it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I would have like an 8-week program specifically for working out or something. And then I would do like 1 week of it, 5 days. And I would say, oh, it's not working. And I would stop it. And I would never see whether it really worked, because I would never finish it out to the end. So I found that making it a whole 8 weeks would be too much for a lot of my clients, because I know that, they have a lot of stuff going on, and they may think I'm not going to commit to doing this for 8 weeks, but you will do it for 1 week. And what we do is we check in daily to make sure that you're doing these specific things, to make sure that you're reminding yourself of your self-worth, and you're filling your cup in 3 specific areas. So the 3 specific areas that I have my clients work on for this week, which is something that they end up continuing because they see how much it fills them up, are your mindset, your body, and your intimate relationship. So I know that you're thinking, oh, this morning routine, it's going to take too much time out of my day. It's literally no longer than an hour. I've actually been able to do it total in 45 minutes. I literally timed myself to see if I could do all of this, because I'm very busy and I really don't have time to be adding in a lot of other things. But I knew that I needed this. So when you know that you need something, when you know that you need to see a change in your life, then you're willing to do the work. So I gave this, and I experimented with this first with myself and then with my clients to kind of figure out what is it that I need to do. So first thing is your mindset. So a lot of times when you have PMDD and you wake up in the morning, there are a lot of intrusive thoughts. There are a lot of how many times have you woken up, for the women that have PMDD? I know a lot of women who don't have PMDD, or partners who don't have PMDD, they listen to this podcast as well. But I'm just giving you a little insight into the minds and the hearts of women that are suffering with this disorder, that the mornings sometimes are the absolute worst, because you wake up and you feel so different. Like you feel so outside of your body, outside of your mind, just like you're waking up in this altered universe, and you're forced to do the same routine that you would normally do when you're not in PMDD, but now you have all these symptoms. So I know specifically with me, I get really bad night sweats when my PMDD comes on. So picture waking up, I get the night sweats, I get really hot at night. So I end up turning the air on really, really cold when in the middle of the night, when I feel my body temperature heating up. So I turn the air on, and then I begin sweating. And then because the air is on, I start shivering and I get cold, and I put the covers back over me. So by the time I wake up, I'm literally a hot, sweaty, cold, freezing, shaking mess on top of the anxiety, on top of everything else, that I literally wake up feeling like, what the heck is going on? I've had to change the sheets on my bed so many times because it's been covered in sweat. I get a little bit of cold symptoms as well, because I literally just allowed my pores to be open from sweating. And then I had all the air conditioning on. And I'm not even going to talk about what happens when I turn the fan on. Like I have the stuffy nose, like all of the things. So I wake up and I have these intrusive thoughts, and I have these negative thoughts going on in my head. And so the first thing I need to do, I always put my phone on do not disturb, because what is very important for women who have PMDD and you have these negative thoughts and these negative emotions and this rage going on, do not, unless you absolutely have to. I know a lot of us have young children, but I find myself being able to operate in mommy mode for some odd reason, like robot mode with my daughter, without it impacting me. But do not contact anyone. Do not message anyone. Do not look at anything until you do this routine. So the first thing I do when I wake up is I put my phone on do not disturb. And then I get my journal and I write out every single negative thought on paper, pen to paper. In the beginning, I used to do it typing on my laptop. And I used to type out all of my thoughts, my negative thoughts, and I used to do it that way. But I found that pen to paper works really, really well for women with PMDD, because that rage is extra energy that's flowing through your body. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that energy out. Okay. So if you try to resist it and persist it in all of these things, you're keeping it inside of you. So what we're doing is a process within this hour, and we're getting that negative energy out before you interact with anyone else and you project it onto them. So the first thing you're doing is you're taking pen to paper and you're writing out all of the negative thoughts, the lies, the things that, are coming up from your past, all of the past trauma, all of the things that you think about yourself in that moment, how disgusting you may feel. I mean, you're really writing it out on paper and no one else is seeing it. So that's a safe place for you, but you need to be able to get it out. You need that outlet. And sometimes talking to people when you're in PMDD and you're talking about all of these things, you may not feel like that in 2 weeks when you're out of PMDD, and the person may still want to talk about it. They may bring up, oh, are you doing okay? Because I know the other week that you said da 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 da, and you're kind of like, oh, well, I don't feel like that anymore. I don't want to talk about it. So this is a great way to get it out and not have to re-experience all of these negative thoughts and feelings at a later time. So it really works. So it only takes me, I would say, about 10 minutes to write every single thing out. So I'm writing it out, and I kind of feel good about it. I feel validated, like, yeah, because in the moment, those negative thoughts, you believe that they're true. So when you're putting pen to paper, you're kind of like, yeah, and I feel like this. It'll literally pour out when you start writing. So I know a lot of times my clients may say, I don't know what's right. It doesn't matter. Just start writing and everything else is going to pour out. I've literally had pages and pages and pages of journaling that has happened through me just start writing the first line. And you can curse and you can make it as vulgar as you want, as raw as you want, because you want it to be real. So you take the 10 minutes and you write that out. And then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to do a 30-minute exercise. So now you've worked on transforming your mind. Next, we're going to work on transforming your body. So you're going to move your body for 30 minutes. At this point, I do not care what kind of workout that you do. Okay, so a lot of my clients, I have them do a bar workout. So it's high intensity, low impact. You can go on a run. You just need something that is literally going to get your mindset off of the symptoms that you're having and just move. Again, it's the same thing with the writing. You're not going to feel like doing it when you start. And I timed it. It takes about 8 minutes. Once you're about 8 minutes into the workout, you start feeling differently because you start getting those endorphins running through your body. As you start to sweat, as your body starts to move, you start to feel good. So I want you to do this 30 minutes workout, and I want you to move your body, and don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about how you feel. Again, the intrusive thoughts in the beginning are probably going to start to come into your mind. When you start moving your body, you may feel that, oh, I don't like the way my body looks. Don't worry about anything. This is not specifically for you to transform your body that day. This is for you to transform more of your mindset. But as you make this a routine, you will see your body transform as well. But don't look for the results on the very first day, on the very first week. Once you make this a habit, your body is going to start to transform, but it all starts with you working on your mindset first. So after you move your body for 30 minutes, I guarantee you that you're going to feel amazing. You're probably just going to feel like a badass. That's normally what happens is you have this in that same raw energy that you have, you just feel so powerful and you feel like you can handle anything. And so that energy is still in your body, it's still flowing through you that you have when you're in PMDD, but it's turned into something that makes you feel like a champion. It makes you feel like you can get through your day, that you can handle anything. But you need to do the mindset and the body transformation first. And then the next thing you do, once you're all sweaty and you're like, yeah, I'm done, you probably are going to want to work out longer, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement. After you're done, we're now 40 minutes into it. And the last 5 minutes is when I want you to take your phone, take it off of do not disturb or airplane mode, whatever you put it on in the beginning. And I want you to either pick up the phone and talk to or message your partner. So this is when you transform your intimate relationship. At the end of your workout is when you have those endorphins flowing and you're feeling your best. And what you're going to do is you're going to transform those good vibes, those good feelings onto your partner. And I just want you to tell them something good. Tell them how much they mean to you. Say something loving to them that's actually genuine, nothing fake. And let them feel the best of you, because when you're even going to feel good about being able to give them the best of you, because so often when you're in PMDD, you feel like they're getting the worst of you the whole time. But a way for you to stay connected and to transform your intimate relationship is when you have those brief moments of feeling good while you're in PMDD, give that to your partner. Let them know that you appreciate them, that you love them, that you're happy that they're there. Joke with them, laugh with them, connect with them when you're feeling your best. And you're going to feel so proud of yourself that you didn't let those negative thoughts that you woke up with negatively impact your relationship, turn into, fighting and nitpicking and arguing. You didn't let it turn into that because you took the time to transform your mindset and your body first. So that message, that conversation can literally take you 5 minutes. It's kind of like the exercise. You're probably going to want to do it more, but all you really need is that 5 minutes. So now we've had 10 minutes of your mindset with the journaling, of dumping out all of those negative thoughts, 30 minutes with your exercise of your choice. And then you have 5 minutes, and that is spending time with your significant other. Now, I put this in less than an hour, but if at any time during these 3 exercises, this total transformation exercise, you want to do any of those things longer, and you have time to do it, give yourself the grace to do it. Go ahead and do it for as long as you have time to do it. Okay, so I know a lot of times when I was really, really deep into wanting to figure out what was going on and how can I transform my mindset, my body, and my intimate relationship, I used to do 90 minutes because I felt like that's how much I needed. And sometimes I know when I have those days that I need to have my phone on do not disturb and to pour into myself for those 90 minutes. And I don't even feel guilty about it, because once I'm done, once I am finished, I feel so much better. I feel like PMDD has not taken over me, that I've taken over PMDD, because I've been able to transform all of the areas of my life that I feel like PMDD takes away from us. So what I want you to understand about this exercise, this transformation exercise that I use with my clients, it requires work, and it is not easy to start. Okay, so I've been doing this for years now, and I still have days where I don't feel like doing it. I literally wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do it. It's probably not going to work. And then I always, once I do it, because it's become such a habit for me, I literally see the transformation every single time that I do it. And I'm always so grateful. There's never been a time that I haven't made myself do it and been like, oh, it didn't even work this time. It works every single time, because you are altering your mindset, you're transforming your mindset, you're transforming your body. There are endorphins that are being able to be pushed through your body into those feelings of rage, and you're doing something with it. I remember I used to do boxing, and I'm not even a boxer. I'm not a boxer, but I remember feeling so much rage during PMDD that I'm just like, I need to do something where I really let this aggression out. And so it's kind of fun. You get creative in different ways that you can move your body to do this transformation exercise. And I literally wrote out a schedule, which is what I do for my clients. And we go through a month of really like trying different kind of exercises that they feel good about and that they want to try. And it becomes this good thing that you really like look forward to, because so many times when you're in PMDD, you don't look forward to the next day until you think that the next day your period's going to come and the PMDD is going to be over. You never look forward to the next day if you know that you're going to have another day full of symptoms. I know that for a fact. But this transformation exercise helps you to look forward to the next day because you know that you have a plan, that no matter how bad you feel when you wake up in the morning, no matter how many intrusive thoughts are coming into your head first thing in the morning, you have a plan to transform your mindset, your body, and your intimate relationships. So if you're at a place where you need help with creating a routine specifically for you, specifically for your symptoms, specifically for your relationships, specifically to how you feel when you know that you wake up, you're in PMDD, you have these intrusive thoughts, you have this re-traumatization, then I want you to book a session with me so that we can map out a plan and we can start to work together. That's www.pmddrelationshipcoach.com, or you can also DM me on Instagram with rise_with_rose, and we can set up an appointment where we can kind of map out exactly what you are going to need to do to transform your mindset, your body, your intimate relationship when you wake up with these intrusive thoughts. I am here to help you feel and to help you know that with the right techniques, with the right tools, you can transform your intimate relationship while having PMDD. You got this.